And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. As this is West Prairie Sports, brought to you by McDonough Telephone Cooperative. Ken Suter alongside Greg Phelps has pretty much picked you off the side of the street watching the game.
Well, you know, I decided to come on down and see how you guys are doing, maybe get myself in a little bit of practice here, because it's, and I mean, the history, not toot my own horn, but the history I have with this tournament, I mean, you go all the way back to 1995 when I started doing games down here, and it's a lot of fun. And all the days Tim Kerr and Autumn Shillian and I were talking about the days before air conditioning in here, the extra timeouts they'd take, the floor would be slick, they'd have to mop it. Fun, fun, fun. I mean, it was, but a lot of great volleyball we've seen here. Let's get you the starting lineup here. It is Madeline Sullivan, joined by Liv Barkley, also J.C. Reynoso, Madison Adams, Nia Zimmerman, and also Abby Starbuck as the libero for the West Prairie Cyclones. I'll get Western on the fly. And no, it's not WIU. It is Barry Western. One of the 8 million Westerns or West Centrals out there in the serve. Right across, picked up by the libero, Lauren White. Set up front. And that one, Reynoso able to pop it up, hit over by Zimmerman. And now they'll set it up again, partially blocked on the hit from Patterson.
Nice dig out by Starbuck.
And they'll set it up this time on the other side, into the back row. Barkley's got it, Dixon. Hit it down, now Reynoso diving save. And they'll load it up again, flipped over and almost down, flipped over again, and that one they're gonna call over the net. I thought they were going to call a lift at first, but over the net.
So first point goes to the Cyclones. A little bit of black on the coloring. That definitely won't trip me up trying to remember who's who between the two teams.
It makes it hard to sort out at times. And it comes off of White in the back row. They're going to load it up the outside. That one.
Just in, I think. Oh, they're going to call it out.
They're going to say that was out. Paisley Patterson. Just out.
Now, watching the Wildcat team yesterday, a lot of power shooters, they really want to use the back corners, especially.
And for West Prairie, they're kind of looking to pick some things up. They've had a rough go of it about the last week. Trying to pick it up here. Starbuck up front, and they bring it to Reynoso. Swung on and missed. And that makes it 2-1 on the side out. That'll bring back to serve Alyssa Barris. And we welcome all of you in to TSSR Game Time Live volleyball coverage. And she'll scream it across off of Starbuck. Sullivan ready to run to go get it. Zimmerman off the block and then pop back up front. They're going to load Patterson on the outside again. And that one Barkley saved. Sullivan with a beautiful save, ran into the wall.
Didn't see it, but boy, could we feel it right there.
Great try by Madeline Sullivan. And that's one of those, sometimes the coach goes, hey, let them go.
And I think that's what he's talking about right now.
And when Barkley hit it up, it skipped off the roof. And you don't see that a lot here at Southeastern. Every once in a while, serve again is 2-2 tie. They bring it up front. Sullivan pops it high. And then the free ball off of Starbuck and down by Emma Dixon. Nice job of her finishing that off, Kenny.
Yeah. As the Wildcats will take the lead, like we talked about, they really want to play with power. From what we saw yesterday, they beat Rushville Industry, had 10-point-plus leads on both games of the match. Really want to get ahead, keep ahead. They don't really want to keep on going back and forth like the beginning of this one.
And that one hit over by Starbuck. I stopped for a moment, folks. I wasn't sure that it got across in the 3 hits. I wasn't sure if it was blocked or not, and I was kind of held up there. 3-3 tie here. As Nia Zimmerman back to serve. I have told her and her sister Camara they are outlawed from having numbers that look similar. And that one a little bit long by Patterson.
That was a great pickup by Starbuck to get out of the way as soon as it came that way.
And Western getting off to a little bit of a slower start tonight. Serve to the outside, going to be set up by Barris. That one pounded down, and a little confusion on who was going to go after it. The makes it 4-4 on the side out.
Paisley Patterson with that one.
And
she was up front a lot last game. Set to serve will be Emma Dixon. Had a good long run of serves as well.
And Kenny, have you noticed how many more of these girls have jump serves now? So many of them, but that one just a little bit out of bounds. And so West Prairie will get the lead back and also come back in, Lauren White. Chevy McCoy coming in on the front row, number 16.
Not so used to announcing from this angle. Every time it's on the line, I'm like, oh, man, I can't quite tell. That's a perfect shot down.
As Alexa Barkley says, stay on your own side. Makes it 6-4, 2-point lead here. J.C. Reynoso at the serve.
Reynoso with the serve. Last game played a lot up front as a blocker. Multiple shots blocked from it.
Adams hits it sideways, then West Prairie gets it across. Set up front, they'll bring it. Patterson can't get to it, and West Prairie takes a 3-point lead. Cyclones trying to get their first win of the tournament. Went to evidently an epic 3-gamer with Rushville Industry on Monday night, or Tuesday night rather.
Yesterday we're able to keep it close. Had a 26-24 first game as they'll get another point here.
And Western seems a little bit off. They'll take a timeout, so will we. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH for this West Prairie sport. See, I already got West Prairie and Western.
See, you got it right in your head.
Presented by McDonough Telephone Cooperative. This game brought to you by MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut in 2025. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone service, and camera systems to McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber.com to check your availability.
And there's one. Patterson able to get it down, stomping a run by West Prairie. They lead here 8-5.
Timeout went ahead and worked as Starbuck comes into the game for West Prairie. Also back into the game is Allison Woods for Western.
And I think maybe they took the timeout trying to get things shook up a little bit. Western coming out a little slow, hit several serves out of bounds, hit spikes into the net.
Just give it a little bit of breather. We know our game works. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Sullivan to Barkley. She had to back up to go get it. Now they'll set it on the outside. And this one unloaded on and dribbled it down. That one by number 8, Sophie Reneker. So there, the attack's starting to get untracked a little bit, and West Prairie's going to have to try to get somebody in front of there.
Had the nice angle to go straight into the middle. It's the second shot in a row. This went underneath over into the far corner.
That's one of the things about this ledge on the stage has been always notorious.
Oh, that was perfect placement, man.
And that's one of those, Nia Zimmerman fought the line won. 8-7, so 3 in a row now by Western. As Woods back to serve again, serves left-hand side, lets it go. Nice, that takes a nice drop as it comes across. Barkley able to tip it over. Nice save, or try at the save by Western, but they just couldn't quite get it up and get it where anybody else could get it. As Madison McClure will come in now to serve. That was Barris that got it up off the floor. Madison McClure in to serve, one of that big group of sophomores that West Prairie has. That one coming up to the net, didn't quite get there. And the miscues once again for Western. And they're down again by 3, 10-7.
Had that run off the timeout, but really just need to, well, slow down. Slow down a little bit.
Woods up front to Barris. That one tipped across by McCoy. Now they'll set it out the outside. It is Lib Barkley. Up. Quick set up top. They'll flip it down. Nice save by Sullivan. And McClure will bump it through. Western back with it. Set up in the middle. It is McCoy. That one too long and out of bounds.
I believe Coach really talked to this team to make sure when you get to that second or third volley, stay back. You know, some teams have a tendency to close and get close to the net. Make sure you stay back.
McClure, beauty of a serve, bandage up an ace for Madison McClure. And a 12-7 lead for West Prairie in this game number 1.
Starting off really well. Hope to keep it through, well, close to the halfway mark. And another.
More confusion as White couldn't hit it sideways, and everybody just kind of looks at it. I got it, you got it. Nobody's got it. And so West Prairie coming out hard tonight. And that one, Barkley gonna tip it over and down. As she says, thou hath not deposited, thou shalt not get a return. Ella Conkright comes in for Western. A touchdown lead for West Prairie. And they'll bring it up front again. This time, cross corner, right back up front. McCoy sends it down. Sullivan brings it up. They'll load her up. She'll tip. And it's popped up there by Reniker. Set on the outside. That one cross court, off the ceiling and right down. Liv Barkley tried to reach over and grab it, but that was a hard shot off the ceiling. And folks, if you can't really maybe see it at home, but this is a very, very tall gym.
Yeah, it kind of has that hanger-ish look where it comes up, and that one goes straight down for the kill.
Alexa Barkley.
Well, as soon as the Wildcats get the ball back, there it goes again.
And Liv Barkley out. Josie Hodges will come in. 15-8, 7-point leader for West Prairie. And the serve pumped up there in the middle, but that is Woods with it. They'll load it to McCoy, dropped over off Starbuck. Sullivan back of the way up, and then just tipped across by Alexa Barkley. Up for McCoy, who hits it into the net. And West Prairie starting to roll here with a 16-8 advantage. And Western, they're just trying to shuffle anybody in.
Just mix it up. Back in the game is Macy Oiker.
Hodges again. Lets it go. That one popped high in the air. Tipped across. Sullivan, nice job on the dig. McClure brings it up. Or Zimmerman. That one off the ceiling and down. And again, West Prairie really rolling here. And we've got another timeout called by Western. This is West Prairie Sports, brought to you on TSSR by MTC on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Western Sports West Prairie Sports. I knew I'd do it. 2 in a row. I got to stop talking. 17-8 is a great dive to get it towards the left side.
And Zimmerman brings it through. They're going to load it up front. That one, a hanger on by Sophie Reniker. And now Liv Barkley coming back in. Liv and Alexa both out there.
Out of the timeout, both times Western has gotten that serve right back. So it really does show that once they refocus, they can make sure they execute. Going behind, just a little mistimed.
As the great Bob Euchre might say, just a bit outside. See, baseball can double over. Serve again by Lauren White. And Kenny, you mentioned how Western got on several big runs the other night. When the excuse me spike drops in. And West Prairie could close out a very impressive game 1.
Reynoso back in the game to play up front. Starbucks set to serve.
And that one
hit it straight off the top of the biceps.
Go backwards. Reynoso pops it to Sullivan, tips it in, and they brought it up. Nice job by Western. Starbuck up in front. Reynoso with a tip, kept alive. I think that's Patterson that brings it back. And hit down. Barkley tips it up.
Oh. A little miscue in positioning there. Gives the Wildcats the serve.
Actually, there comes Patterson back in. She'll replace Woods. And now back to serve is Reniker. Comes off of Barkley over to Sullivan, loads it for Zimmerman. Down the line, White hits it into the crowd. And Western just Discombobulated is about the best word I can think of.
They're just not executing to the potential that they have, especially after what I've seen, what Dwayne has seen throughout the rest of the tournament. Western really has shown off a lot of great things, just starting off slow.
And after watching West Prairie, that's one of the things they have done a fantastic job of here tonight is limiting the mistakes. Because that's one of the things that West Prairie so far this season has had a little trouble with is limiting the mistakes. And tonight, done a great job of that. So a side out for Western. And back to serve is Barris. Off of Starbuck to Sullivan, sets up Zimmerman, off the net, popped high in the air, fight for it. Reynoso sends it back across. Load up comes in the middle.
Picked up the tip.
And now Zimmerman again, this time back row. White trouble with it. Attempt at the save by Reneker. Couldn't get it, and West Prairie 5 away from closing out game number 1.
2012 as they'll roll it over.
And Nia Zimmerman coming back to serve. Back row off of White. They bring it up front. And now loaded on the outside. That one, no doubt about it.
And that's a lot of what we've used to seeing from this team.
Emma Dixon with it. Now McCoy coming back in. And they rotate a lot of tall girls. I mean, that's one of the things, too. West Prairie is not a very big team. I'm not sure what the rest of the teams look like down here, but probably one of the more undersized, I would guess. Serve on the way, off of Zimmerman up front. Sullivan kind of keeps it back, flipped over by Madison Adams. Kept alive and now bumped across by Reneker. Cyclones play it up. It is Liv Barkley tipping it over. On the outside, loaded up, down and good. And if you're Coach Snyder and you see he got up quick, Kenny, and called a timeout. And we'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
Whether it's an emergency situation or an outpatient scan, McDonough District Hospital's radiology department offers the test you need right here in Macomb. If you need an MRI, a CT scan, ultrasound, x-ray, a bone density scan, or to schedule an annual mammogram, our experienced radiology staff will provide high-quality, compassionate care. McDonough District Hospital, your community radiology partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH Western Sports.
Maybe my presence is not a good thing.
Well, as anybody who's ever watched me do football games alone knows that I can't read out loud. I can't read players' numbers. I'm just here, I guess.
You exist.
I'm here so that you don't have to touch the computer.
That's all right with me. Sullivan on the outside to Liv Barkley. McCoy popped it up. Close to lift there. Blocked again. Nice job up front by Adams and Reynoso. Sullivan up with it. Zimmerman pops it high. Adams loads off the blocks and popped up by Barris. They just bump it across and play it. Starbuck at the floor outside. Liv Barkley off the net. I think that would have been out. They took it anyway. And that one by Patterson. Coaches hate when you're rearing back and doing almost the fadeaway on the spike. That happens about every time.
Gets straight into the net. 21-14. Reynoso with the serve.
Popped on the outside. McCoy off the blocks. And West Prairie's blocking has been spot on. Patterson rolls it across. Reynoso up with it. Now Sullivan will help it across. Deep in the back row. Picked up by White. Set on the outside. Patterson. And they're going to say did not get across in the recommended daily allowance of 3 hits. 22-14. Cyclones could close out a big momentum booster. That one off the side of Reynoso's hand and out of bounds. So 22-15.
Just slightly off that thumb, which is always kind of hard because you always feel like you want to, as a right-hander, go closer and closer to get that power off the palm.
And now they'll bring it out. It's Allison Wood, serve off of Zimmerman, and had a little trouble with it. Drops it in. It's 22-16. And this is one of those, you don't want them to get Western to start getting momentum.
You want to shut that door. It's already got a nice crack in it. Just go full floor. That's not what you want to see in this situation.
And Barkley tried to flip it over there. It just hung on the tape. 22-17, the lead's down to 5. All you need is a side out. Woods serves, and that one off of Barkley. Popped high, they'll load her on the outside, and Western does a nice job picking it up. They're going to load it back over for Reneker. Tips and found a home for it. And you can see that Western is starting to get it together.
Getting that mojo back, and now the tips are much more effective as you've already got multiple big shots on that far side. Everybody's thinking, okay, here comes another big one, and then that tip just drips it down.
And there we go. Coach Drew Snyder up and off the bench. It is 22-19, Western on a big roll. We'll step aside. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH.
I'm Lindsay Schaefer. I'm a physical therapist specializing in pelvic floor physical therapy here at McDonough District Hospital Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation. Young women, a lot of them have pelvic pain. They don't realize that it's something that they don't have to live with anymore. It's very common for people to have urinary leakage. And I always say it's common, but it's not normal. It's not something you need to live with. I also focus on hip pain, back pain. It's all kind of connected. Any age really can benefit from it.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. 22-19 out of the timeout. Set to serve will be the Western Wildcats with Woods back there.
And I'm sure Coach Drew Snyder is saying, hey, just relax. Let's do what the things we've been doing all game long, and let's just get to it. Barkley with it. There! Knocks one home. 23-19, exactly what they needed out of the timeout.
Just need to slow down, hit your spots, make sure you stay in position. Now 23-19. One of my favorite things about announcing volleyball is the score. Shout out to anybody else who was addicted to Monsters, Inc. all the time.
And they'll set up that one off. And look, that one off of Dixon. A little confusion on who was going to go get it. I apologize. That was Reneker. 23-20. Again, all you need to side out. You're 2 away. Just relax, do the things you've been doing. And Starbuck up with it over there, bring it to Barkley. Popped up in the back row. Libero White had to chase it down, bumped over by McCoy, and Zimmerman's got it for West Prairie. Loaded on the outside, Liv Barkley stuffed up there. Nice job by Zimmerman recovering. And then Barkley again, back row, they'll bring it up again. Loaded on the outside, Reneker. Oh, and Barkley just ricocheted across. Again, and Zimmerman up with it. Tipped across, that one saved at the floor, and bumped across by Western. Starbuck to Sullivan up front. Alexa Barkley picked up by White. Set in front, McCoy off the blocks, out of bounds, and it's 23-21.
And both teams just playing the best right there. Both teams had everything come together. Just couldn't get it to work for West Prairie as that one barely goes over the net. They'll set up left side to the net.
And Barkley, Liv Barkley that is, hits it into the net. 23-22 after being down by as many as 7. Western's trying to rally here. And the serve, high, short floater. Up toward the net, Sullivan for Barkley, and that one did not get touched. 23-23. Now here's the kicker. Both coaches have used all their timeouts. So this is one of those you got to tell the girls, hey, you guys have to get this. You're on your own. Serve back row and out of bounds. There's a game point.
Game point. Substitutions coming in for both teams.
Josie Hodges.
That's Macy Oatkirk.
And Josie Hodges back to serve here. And the biggest thing to tell a kid, just get it over. And then they'll bring it up front. That one tipped across. Nice job by the McClure to bring it up. And Western will load it up again. Reneker on the floor, and we've got overtime. So overtime here as Western will serve, and I believe, Kenny, the first lead all match, or all game. West Prairie jumped out early. That one, Barkley up with it, right back across. They'll set up front. That one's stuffed. Popped high in there. Sullivan tracking it down. Starbuck with it, bumps it across. Loaded by Western, tipped across, and McClure's up with it. Sullivan outside, Zimmerman down the line. Western's right there, loaded back on the outside. Reneker into the tape, and West Prairie gets it back.
Right back to him.
And I'll tell you, that's one thing West Prairie I've noticed has done a fantastic job of blocking in this game one.
Indeed, indeed. Reynoso and also, I got the wrong one. Sullivan up front. And that's down for another point for Wildcats.
And Coach Snyder, not happy, swatted the ball, got a stern look from Lana Porter. And here it is. Western will serve for the lead again, as back to serve is Reneker. Booms it back row. Barkley, Liv Barkley that is, high in to Zimmerman. Sends it across, and they'll bring it up. Now loaded for Patterson. Popped up. Starbuck with it to Sullivan. Tipped and down. And I tell you what, that's got to be a bubble burst for the Cyclones, and really got to adjust now. Another sub as Camara Zimmerman will replace Madison McClure. And for Western, I mean, they were down by as many 7. Looked like it could be over, down 23-19. And have rallied for a possible win. Here's Starbuck, trouble with it. That one drops down, and Western has rallied all the way back to win the first one, 27-25. Kenny, I tell you what.
Sullivan slid into that scores table a little bit hard.
And she got up a little slowly.
Yeah.
I think they're going to check her over here. And for Western, what a big comeback in that one. 27-25, but down 23-19 and able to put it together. You got to give a lot of credit to their front row. They were struggling early on and then were able to put it back together and get it going.
They started off slow, like we talked about. Really off positioning, multiple shots out, going a little bit too much power, a little bit off the hand, left or right. And then finally, once I got that 4th point in a row, it really just felt like, oh yeah, this is who we are.
Yep.
And instantly, it just felt like all the air was off their shoulders. They were able to play.
And now for West Prairie, have to gather yourselves back together. That's the biggest thing, is to gather yourself back together, get yourself going. And basically, I always tell players, the best players have the shortest memories, because you want to forget about that last game. This one's a whole new game, and they're ready. You got to come back and do the same things that got you the lead. West Prairie, great job blocking up front. Much better, limited the mistakes, and we're right in that one. Now they've got to force one to force number 3.
Yeah, and they've shown they have what it takes to win the full game. They were so close.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you want to forget at the end once you've passed that 24 point, but don't forget everything that happened in that 23.
Yep.
You've got this. You know what will get them off their game. If you can get them with a couple of powerful shots. Yeah, you're undersized, but if you can play up front with blocks, that might get them off their game. Go right back to that first, 10, 15 points where they were slower.
Yep.
They were double thinking themselves. If they can get them right back to that position, you can win this one.
And West Prairie has shown they can do it. And really what they need this season, they need the real breakthrough win. That's the biggest thing, honestly, they need is really that breakthrough. They beat United the first game, and I know they were in a tough bracket there at the Western tournament. They need a breakthrough. And it's just, one of those where everything clicks. That first game was pretty close to that, but they need one of those where everything clicks and it goes through. And for Western, they have a chance maybe to get themselves in the upper brackets of the tournament. I know the Unity Lady Mustangs have been making a run through this one. They've had a good start to their season, beating QND, and then, coming into this tournament. And this tournament, I tell you what, you see some of the best small school volleyball over the years, some of the most consistent, best volleyball I've seen out of small schools anywhere.
It is. It's kind of like night and day starting off here, and then when I'm filling in, doing whatever I can for some of the other places and you see some schools that you don't see here. And, you know, not for nothing. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes you just go, man, really starts off great. It really does.
And one of my favorite things back in the old WCAZ days, this is where we started our volleyball season. This was where we started every time, and I mean, I can think of hundreds of matches. I don't know if it's hundreds, but it seemed like a lot of matches down here, a lot of fun watching great volleyball. And I mean, all the great players, and some of them are now moms on some of these teams. You know, some of the great players I watched come through here, it's so much fun to see that. And as I say, we see some really, really good, hard-nosed, tough volleyball. And the Cyclones with a little bit of a change here. I'm not sure whether Madeline Sullivan still sucked up a little bit.
Not quite sure. Coach is talking to him. If anything, you know, just for the safety, it is the beginning of the year. Just for a little while. You can always sub in later. No reason to rush back for anything. Still a little communication between the teams, so we'll take a quick break.
That was, so we'll step aside there.
This game brought to you by Ride Farm Supply, located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974. Ride Farm Supply can meet all your needs for LP, seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in the area, and as a customer, they'll take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121.
And Madeline Sullivan's mom a little bit disagreeable with the decision by the trainer.
So, also brought to you by Country Financial agent Brett Powell. Your farm is your legacy. As a leading farm insurer, Country Financial is here to protect it. Call Brett Powell at your local country rep at 309-652-3889 for a free quote today. As we'll get some more communication down there.
I don't know what Tim Kerr was coming out onto the floor. I don't know what that was all about, but I assume they're ruling maybe that Madeline Sullivan out.
Maybe.
And I think they're going to have an officials conference here.
So we'll step back and take a quick break, and we'll see you again in about 30 seconds.
Every McDonough District Hospital sports medicine and rehabilitation patient receives one-on-one appointment times with a licensed staff member. They develop a personalized recovery and treatment plan to turn your setback into a comeback. We offer physical and occupational therapy, vestibular rehabilitation, speech-language pathology, cardiac and pulmonary rehabilitation, dry needling, and pelvic floor therapy. MDH, your community physical therapy partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
I think the rewarding parts of my job are seeing people over time and getting to know them and getting to know their families. And that's very exciting to see them and get them better over time, especially if I'm able to find out something that other places haven't. And that's kind of what drew me to family medicine. You know, I try to get along with people and treat them as I would my family. Do what we can to get the patients taken care of day in and day out. It's pretty supportive. I'm Dr. Michael Waters. I'm a family physician here at the McDonough District Hospital Family Clinic.
Whether it's an emergency situation or an outpatient scan, McDonough District Hospital's radiology department offers the test you need right here in Macomb. If you need an MRI, a CT scan, ultrasound, x-ray, a bone density scan, or to schedule an annual mammogram, our experienced radiology staff will provide high-quality, compassionate care. McDonough District Hospital, your community radiology partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time. Whether it's an emergency situation or an outpatient scan, McDonough District Hospital's radiology department offers the test you need right here in Macomb. If you need an MRI, a CT scan, ultrasound, x-ray, a bone density scan, or to schedule an annual mammogram, our experienced radiology staff will provide high-quality, compassionate care. McDonough District Hospital, your community radiology partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
I think we've got.
All right. This game brought to you by McDonough Telephone Cooperative. This Westbury game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. Buffering means suffering, so kick slow Wi-Fi to the curb and connect your home with MTC's fiber internet to get blazing fast Wi-Fi speeds with speeds up to 1 gig. Sign up online at mtcfiber.net. And also brought to you by McDonough District Hospital, McDonough District Hospital Athletic Trainers, and the MDH Rehabilitation Center. Locations in Bushnell and Macomb. Provide expert help to cyclone student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital. More than hospital care, a hospital caring.
And Madeline Sullivan is out. She, and I would assume she did not pass concussion protocol. And so let's get the starting lineup. It is Liv Barkley. We'll get that as that one served and way too long. So starting just like they did game one, Reneker pounds that one out of bounds, Kenny.
Yeah, just had to almost go full Iron Man to stop that from hitting the camera. The laptop up here.
That has happened a lot in this corner. Hodges with it into the back row off of White the libero. We'll get the lineup for you in a moment. And I don't know that Patterson was supposed to get that, but she got it anyway.
Could see it in her face as soon as she hit it, like, ooh.
And now up again, unloads that one off the box, down and good. And Western ties things up at 1-1. So on the floor right now for the Western Wildcats, Sophie Reneker. Also out there, Ella Conkrite, joined by Paisley Patterson. I'm trying to see their numbers are not very big. Numbers should have to have it for broadcaster size. Starbuck with it to Hodges. Up front, Reynoso off the block.
They're trying to say, I don't know about that. That surely went off the hand. I mean, it completely changed her trajectory.
Yeah, that was a 2-1 lead here now for Western. As back to serve goes Alyssa Barris. And that one into the net, so earns a side out. And back to the Cyclones, also in there, Emma Dixon. And for the Cyclones, Nia Zimmerman, Abby Starbuck, the libero, Liv Barkley, Madison Adams, J.C. Reynoso, and Josie Hodges.
That went off the net a little bit of the ball doesn't lie to you.
There you go. And tipped up there, Hodges with it to the outside to Barkley, had to kind of wander into it. And brought up by White in the back row. Found it on the outside. Starbuck, nice save on the outside. And Hodges across with it. They'll bring it up front. That one off the top of the net by Dixon. Sent across, and now they'll load it up on the outside again. Streamed back row by Patterson. And up to Barkley. She'll tip it over.
Ooh, into the net.
Net violation on Western.
So that'll make it a 3-2 game. Cyclones with it. As we got Southeastern and West Hancock set for the next game in the stands.
And that one to the outside, loaded up, knocked over by Dixon, or by Patterson rather. Tipped by Adams into the net, and it is a 3-2 lead now for Western.
3-3 game.
3-3 game, sorry. Well, with two schools in black, it's hard to figure out which one's home and which one's guest.
I will say, though, at least with the black with colors, or the absence of color, I guess, for white, it's easier to read the numbers, as that one will fall down. A great shot there by McCoy.
And that's, but with schools now, used to be home was white, black, dark color, not necessarily black, but dark color on the road. This is it's kind of confusing with it both the way. Reynoso with it up front, partially blocked, and down it goes. And give West Prairie credit. Under adversity, they are responding well here.
Yesterday's first matchup I did, first volleyball game of the year, was Unity versus West Prairie, white and light gray.
Oh. I think there should be a broadcaster's set of rules.
And that'll be the ace.
Ace for Abby Stubb. And like I said, if you're upset about this, if you're West Prairie, use it. Use that anger. Use that momentum. And now they lead it here by a score of 5-4.
Beginning of the year, and you don't have Sullivan for the rest of these, hopefully, 2 games. And just like you talked about, you have a lot of sophomores that are in this year.
Yep.
Use this as an opportunity to get more playing time towards the end of the year.
There you go. And they have a 6-4 lead here right now and responding very, very well.
Western starting off slow. They really want to build up that lead. Once they get that momentum on their side, they play much faster. They play better. Shot on the side. Picked up.
And Zimmerman they bring it up to Liv Barkley. Block in front, Hodges with it to Barkley. She'll hit it. Nice shot by Liv Barkley. Just a little bit long in the arms of Dixon.
Great positioning and great way to keep your eyes up and hit it where it's not at.
And now, once again, Starbuck bringing up to the outside. McCoy across. Off Zimmerman up front. Hodges for Adams. And net violation again on Western. And I tell you what, folks don't realize, for Josie Hodges to step in and do this, and for the hitters, this is a huge thing, trying to put a brand new center in there. That makes a huge change. And we do have a timeout on the floor.
This game brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. Thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center as the best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best. 3 convenient locations serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. And finally brought to you by MTC Communications. Having slow, unreliable internet just doesn't cut it in 2025. MTC Communications offers lightning-fast, reliable fiber internet, video, phone service, and camera systems to the McDonough, Henderson, and Hancock County areas. Visit mtc.crowdfiber to check your availability. Ryan Farm Supply, located in the heart of Walnut Grove and in business since 1974. Ryan Farm Supply will meet all of your needs for LP, seed, fertilizer, and farm chemicals. Their LP service is unmatched in the area, and as a customer, they'll take care of you. Give them a call today at 309-772-3121.
White picks it up in the back row. Patterson had to cream it on the back row, and now up to Adams. She'll tip it deep, and on the run, White is there. They bring it up to McCoy up front. Nice dig by Hodges. Adams helps it out, and punched over by Zimmerman. Tapped over and in on the shot by Ella Conkright as she drops it home. Ella Conkright drops it in, makes it 8-5. And one thing West Prairie Kenny seems to be doing here is they're keeping Western off balance, not letting them really get into their offense. And that Patterson unloads one on Zimmerman, tipped up by Hodges, and Barkley drops it home. Nice job.
Keep them guessing with the tips, the shots, the different movements, maybe some sets over, set of spikes. Just keep them guessing. Western just doesn't feel comfortable right now. 9-5 your score, set to serve.
And brought up front, tap to the outside, and that one
on the
rolling.
line.
Drop down and in for Reneker. And they just keep kind of keeping West Prairie at arm's length, trying to get on that run like they did late in game number 1. And the serve by Oetker off of Zimmerman. Hodges had to back up to get it, and Barkley brings it across, and Alexa Barkley has been tough up front.
Kind of stutter-stepped a little bit there. Thought she was going up a little bit sooner than she needed to, but it still worked.
And Kamara Zimmerman comes in, and I am proud of the Zimmerman family. They one's got a single digit, one's got double digits. I like that. Hit high and over. Hodges with it up for Barkley. Unloads again, and another net violation on Western.
Man, Western just needs to play back. I know you've got the height advantage. You want to block, but get back. What, this is the third of this game so far?
I think so. Serve coming off Waitker in the back row. They're going to bring it on the outside. That one, Reneker puts it down and in. And I think what their coach was arguing was that it was the West Prairie girls hitting
pushing
the net
in.
And that didn't used to be so much of a thing. Now there is. I shouldn't call it offensive pass interference, but that's the only thing that's the only thing I can think of that's equivalent. White bringing it across off of Starbuck. Up to Hodges. She'll set it up, and that one to the back wall by Alexa Barkley. Or as we like to say, high, deep, and generally unplayable. 11-8. Western trying to work their way back in. That one back row. Starbuck off the ceiling. Nice job. Hodges brings it up. Or actually it was McClure brought up, and Hodges with it. Dig by Starbuck. They bring it outside. Nia Zimmerman gets it to fall. And again, give West Prairie credit. You know, adversity shows you what you've got. And they are in the game here, down only or ahead by 4, and needing this one to force 3. Alexa Barkley serve into the back row off Western, hit to the outside. Reneker dug by Barkley back row. Reneker dribbles it down and good.
You know, it worked for the Wildcats, got the point, but we've seen their power shots have been more than often just dribbling over their net. They're not getting as much lift as they want.
And here we are in day 3 of this tournament. That's one of those things that starts happening. Legs get tired, arms get tired. And you see a little more of that. Outside they set up to Nia Zimmerman. Saved at the floor. Nice job there, but cannot get it across. They made a heck of a try at it, and West Prairie regains the lead by 4 in the side out as Madison Adams will come in. And Josie Hodges back to serve it now. Into the jump serve and popped up there. They back set it or tipped it across. And now Hodges tips it back, and that one
should not have played it. That was going out.
White took the chance on it, and we've got a timeout by Western. We'll step aside as well. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I think the rewarding parts of my job are seeing people over time and seeing getting to know them and getting to know their families. And that's very exciting to see them and get them better over time, especially if I'm able to find out something that other places haven't. And that's kind of what drew me to family medicine. You know, I try to get along with people and treat them as I would my family. Do what we can to get the patients taken care of day in and day out. It's pretty supportive. I'm Dr. Michael Waters. I'm a family physician here at the McDonough District Hospital Family Clinic.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. 14-9 your score as the Cyclones tip off. Right back power. It'll be out, though. Wildcats will get the serve.
And really, you mentioned their power hitting has really been kind of off. And again, it's the day 3. You've had some tough matches. West Prairie has really picked it up. Serve come across. Liv Barklett, Hodges digging out. Reynoso across. And we've got a net violation. I believe Reynoso or Hodges' foot was across. And so makes it 14-11. As again, Western trying to take this one from behind.
They've shown they're able to do it. So why not do it once again? It was around this time when they started to get points right back clawing out as soon as West Prairie hit 15. There goes another one.
And that one's one of those, Josie Hodges kind of made a decision, hey, I'm going to reach out and try to get it. Probably would have been better to let Barkley take it in the back row. The biggest thing here for the Cyclones, just relax. Do like they did in game 1, relax a little bit. For Western, they've got to really start putting things together. You know, they've had a lot of hitting errors and been in the net and served a lot out of bounds. And that's really kind of slowed them up here in this match. As a 15-12, West Prairie leading here by 3.
And maybe for Western, you try to go for more of a standing hit instead of that run.
And Reynoso flips it across. Loaded up to Patterson. That one high in the air. Nice try by Hodges. She tried to get behind the block. And that's one of the things, too. If you're going to put up a heavy block, you got to have somebody running, be up behind it.
Trust your teammates will have your back.
Yep.
Especially if you're in front row. You've got 3 players. They know how to position. You guys have practiced positioning. You just got to trust them to do it.
Shepard into the ball game now for Western. Liv Barkley cross courts it to Reneker, and they'll set it to the outside. Patterson hits it into the net and makes it 16-13. Side out back to West Prairie as Alexa Barkley back in. Liv, number 2, is the freshman. Alexa, the senior.
You tripped me up. I was going, wait a second. I thought there was only one Liv on the team.
And Olivia is her full name. Liv is what she is often called. And the libero of the back row spike. Zimmerman up with it. Hodges tried to keep it high. And they're calling Hodges, and it is the illegal. Basically, you're trying to keep it away from the blockers. 16-14. Western again trying to chip their way back in. Paisley Patterson.
Another benefit of doing this game with you, I would have no clue what that hand motion would be.
Yep.
It's one you don't quite see too much.
They're a little more funny about it than they used to be, but it's a lot of it, you know, if the blocker has it, you can't really or flip it away from them. And you'll see the same thing when the blockers put their hands over the net. You got to allow the setter to have a play on it. And they load up again. That one, nice job by the Cyclones bringing it up. brought it over, and Western, I don't know.
I don't know if West Prairie thought they hit it 3 times already with that little hesitation.
And a collision, but West Prairie would get it over. That one off the blocks. Down it goes. Nice work by both sides. 17-15. These two teams, tooth and nail.
Oiker comes back into the game. Serve.
Serve deep back row. Starbuck had to go to the back line to get it. McClure up. And Liv Barkley bumps it over. White, the libero, takes it back row. They'll bring it up front on the outside. Reneker down and good.
Pretty much picture perfect.
And
Picture perfect offensive set right there.
And that's a lot better than what we've seen. And give credit to West Prairie. They were keeping them off, back and forth, kind of off their feet. Starbuck with it. Hodges over to Alexa Barkley. White in the back row with it. Brought up front now by Woods and tipped over by Reneker. Starbuck has it for West Prairie. Loaded for Barkley. White up with it. Out of the net. They can't keep.
They're going to say 4.
4. Coach Drew Snyder popped up off the bench, and he made the call well. I got to give him credit for that. Popping up and saying 4, 18-16. Now Kamara Zimmerman will come in for Liv Barkley. As the serve picked up in the back row, brought up there by Oiker. Helping out, and White trying to bring it across. And Western, I don't know whether on the sequence before, they kind of relaxed. And that's one of the things right now you can't do. They kind of relaxed, thought it was down. And you always play it until you hear that whistle. And that one at the back row, Barkley jumped up and missed it. Now the Western will load it. Reneker off the net and down. Kamara Zimmerman made a nice attempt at it. And I tell you, high drama here in the gym.
You can feel the energy is a little bit higher. Noise is a little bit higher.
A little controversy adds to the ratings. Serve off the back row by White. Hodges with it up front to Nia Zimmerman. Hammered down, brought up by Western. Up front to Reneker. Actually, it wasn't Reneker, that was Dixon. And Zimmerman
another one down.
Dixon says, "Thou hath not deposited, thou shalt not get a return." If you weren't sure, Kenny, volleyball is a little biblical at times.
And a timeout taken by the Cyclones. So we'll take a timeout here as well on TSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
Here at MDH, we provide one-on-one care to our patients. This allows them to feel supported and empowered during their labor process. The Tower of Power is a cart full of tools and resources to help support women during their labor experience. Items include massage therapy tools, aromatherapy, personal care items, music therapy, and features our labor menu.
We provide a celebratory dinner to each family to congratulate them on their new little one. We strive to create a safe and supportive environment where each mother's unique birth plan is respected.
Well, Southeastern.
And welcome back to TSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Wait until you were back and you were looking over to the other side.
Well, and once again, though, we mentioned this all match long, Kenny. When it seems like when Western is starting to really take control, they trip up, serve out of bounds,
another one.
Hit into the net, and West Prairie with a 20-18 lead. Alexa Barkley serve into the back row. That's picked up by Woods, and they help it out. Bumped across there and played by the Cyclones. Liv Barkley up to Hodges on the outside. Nia Zimmerman down and good.
Great job on the placement there to get it just towards that left side. Can't get it on the dive.
21-18. And again, the Cyclones at the point where they can really take control. Barkley serve. Woods in the back row has it. Set up on the outside. Reneker unloads on that one, and right back it comes to Western.
Neck and neck.
And this is where Western's got to take advantage. If you're a fan of the Wildcats, this is where they've got to have a clean 6 points and get back in the advantage. Reneker off of Liv Barkley. Hodges to the outside. Nia Zimmerman stuffed and off her hand into the crowd. So cuts it to 21-20. As once again, Western tries to grab it at the end, or if you're using a horse racing analogy, take it at the tape. As Liv Barkley brings it up, Hodges over to Nia Zimmerman, flip through, White saves it at the floor.
Back tip right back.
And now up at the net, Hodges, finally a little confusion, they got it. Barris up front, that one hit backwards, Barkley up front. Hodges bumps it through, White takes it for Western. Patterson the load up, Barkley another dig, and Hodges now up with it, kind of mishit it off her fingers. And they couldn't quite get it. 21-21, West Prairie will talk it over this time. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live. This West Prairie game stream brought to you by Madonna Telephone Cooperative, as they'll be able to get it right over, but just off the side to the right.
And the Wildcats once again trying to yank the covers off. They lead 22-21. And that one off Barkley in the back row. Hodges parks underneath it outside Zimmerman. Good hit back row taken by White. Barris the setter up to Patterson. Boom! Just dropped that one off of, that was the old knuckleballer off Madison McClure. And it's 23-21. Kennedy Webster will check in. Madison McClure will go out for West Prairie. And Reniker with it, off of Liv Barkley. Hodges up to Reynoso, tipped across. Reniker's got it in the back row. They bring it outside. Patterson the long wind up, off of Starbuck to the back wall. And it is game and or match point for the Western Wildcats.
Once again, we're able to stay in it just enough to have that comeback.
And Reniker, that one.
That's another.
Nice try, Kenny. Hey, that was not my save, Joe. That was Kenny's play. I'm not going to take the ball from him. Hey, go get him. And that 24-22, that was your play, Kenny, and you didn't make it, dude.
That's why I was a lineman.
And White, that one, you could see confusion whether it was going to go out, whether it was going to stay in, and sailed long. But White stuck the hands out, and now it's 24-23. We may get overtime again. Hodges this time down the line. That one tipped across by Barris. Starbuck pops alive over to Adams. Pounds it back row, and right there is Oetker. They bring it outside. It is Patterson. Drops it in and good. And Western comes back and wins it in two. 27-25, 25-23.
Two great comebacks for this Western Wildcats team. Had to win in different ways than we've seen earlier in the tournament. Couldn't get that early lead to set up momentum. They really had to show that they can claw back and win this, and they did show it twice in a row.
And we're able to take that one home in two. And for the Cyclones, they will be in the early part of the bracket. I'm not sure exactly what Western's record is in the tournament. Kenny's kind of trying to
I don't think Dwayne has had that written down.
And so we'll blame everything on Dwayne. I like that.
That's always that.
That's always a good thing. And that, well, Kenny, hey, that was fun. Always happy to stop in and help out a little bit, give you a little bit of a breather and a little bit
especially for volleyball, you know, when it comes to announcers that we always have here on TSSR, you might be the most well-versed volleyball announcer, at least compared to me, who my experience comes from Ironman volleyball and getting bored watching my sister as a junior high kid.
Well, yeah, and the matches I've done in that, it's all been a lot of fun, and it's just when volleyball is played cleanly and played well, it is one of the best sports to watch. When it's not played well, it is a little bit ugly. But you know, a fun match, and again, this gym has a ton of memories for me. And the team out on the court now, a lot of memories, a lot of places we've gone and that. And so kind of fun to see a lot of these kids play. I'll probably catch a little bit of this match and then got some youngins I need to get home. But, hey, It was fun, sir.
All
Always enjoy it.
Alrighty, so we'll see you right back here in just a few minutes. For the last game of tonight, it'll be the Southeastern Suns taking on, I believe, the West Hancock Titans, if I saw the logos correctly. But we'll see you just a little bit on the same YouTube channel. Just have to hit that little stream button for, I believe, Game 6 of today. So we'll see you in just a bit.